Today, from the Superdome in New Orleans, it's Week 6 of the NFL on EA Sports. As we'll see Andy Dalton and the New Orleans Saints versus Joe Burrow and the Cincinnati Bengals.
Well, folks, it is always a celebration here in New Orleans, and we are just outside of the Hoppin' French Quarter at the Caesars Superdome. Today, we've got a Week 6 matchup for you here between the Cincinnati Bengals and the New Orleans Saints. A little jet sweep to start the drive. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4. Well, CD, you see some of the injuries that have popped up for this franchise, and obviously hoping to get these guys back sooner rather than later.
Yeah, and these guys, they've been hearing the mantra next man up since their Friday night light games in high school. It's 3 simple words, but they're absolutely perfect to use, and everyone has adopted them. Next guy up, do your best.
That one, a first down pickup of 8. The Bengals at a perfect 5-0 here to begin the campaign. And they've certainly found their groove of late, winners of 5 in a row.
And this team is absolutely playing their best football right now. This is the best that we've seen them play in a long time, partner. Sky's the limit as far as they're concerned. Their confidence really soaring.
Simply not much more you can ask out of your running back. Over 100 yards and the 3 touchdowns.
And for an old coot like me, I loved it because he did it on the ground. A running back taking control of the game. That's what I like to see.
Hold on. An old coot?
Coot, C-O-O-T.
All right, I'll look that up later. He's got a man, complete. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. A great effort there. Touchdown number 15 on the year. And the Bengals have answered that early field goal to take a first-quarter lead. And that time, he came out of the slot for that big play downfield for the score.
I think what we just saw there, partner, was what we call scheming a guy open. Put him in the slot, know that he has tremendous speed. What you're doing with your other receivers,
now it's Burrow. That one taken in by T. Higgins. And he'll be taken down, but not before they reach the 50. Call that a very strong gain of 24.
certainly no settling into the drive there. They came right out on the first play and attacked the middle of the field for a big gainer and a first down.
Inside handoff to Mixon. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. It's a gain of 13, and the Bengals have a first down. Again, it's Mixon. Demario Davis there on the stop. So, Charles, you look at this offense, what a start to the season. 5 wins without a loss. When do you think that you start believing that maybe you're in the midst of something special?
Well, you and I both know every head coach never wants that thought to creep into a locker room. But the truth of the matter is, not quite at this time, because if we look at the Steelers in 2020, they're a great example. Remember, they started 11-0, then lost 5 of 6 and went out in the first round. But I think if you get toward mid-November, the Thanksgiving time frame, and you're still doing this, That's when things start to get real for a ball club.
So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. Out of the shotgun, they run with Mixon. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
And the Bengals are going to have a 1st and goal. They nearly had the touchdown, but he's going to be marked out of bounds just shy of the pylon. From the gun, a give to Mixon. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Bengal TD. Joe Mixon, his 16th rushing touchdown on the year. And they are able to add on to their advantage. And on his way to the end zone, shedding the tackle, he would not be denied.
That's what's called finishing the run. Making sure you power your way through. One-on-one tackle. No running back wants to go to the bench and say, I got stopped just short.
Gillikin on to punt now on 4th down. And the win last week punted 4 times as this one's away. And we'll see what he can do on the return. 1:57 to go in this first half on EA Sports. The Bengals drive about to get going. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A good pickup there, 21 yards. From the shotgun, it's Burrow. And his throw's going to be incomplete. T. Higgins was the intended target. And now it's 2nd down.
Well, they'll certainly be on the tablets going over that one for sure. Clearly, they were expecting something else out of the defense and couldn't adjust to make that completion happen.
On 2nd down, here's Mixon. A 3rd and 9 looming. Pretty good little 2-play sequence there. You force the incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or 2 because you want to try and defend on 3rd down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
On 3rd down, Burrow. He'll take a shot for the end zone. And that is caught. He's got it for a Bengal touchdown. A big play there. His 2nd TD of the game and 16th on the season. And the Bengals will extend their lead in the final minute of the half. So, Charles, that's 3 touchdowns on 3 drives, and it's just been an offensive barrage so far.
Great word, partner, using barrage right there. I'm going to add another word if you don't mind. How about perfection? No surprise that they're leading right now. Absolute dominance throughout this ball game and no signs of slowing.
Blake Gillikin on to punt here as he'll send this one away. This is away, but boy, headed straight for the sidelines. And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line. Joe Mixon and the Bengal offense ready to go back to work. And we checked the rushing numbers so far here into Week 6, and the returns have been really good. Now, you're starting to hit that stride middle of the season toward the end. They're certainly hoping they can keep up this production.
They are, because one of the adages in the NFL is that defense travels and defense endures even in bad weather, right? You know what else does? A good running game. And people want that, especially as you head down the stretch. You may play outdoors in some nasty stuff. You're trying to get to the playoffs. This is the time to get it going. And individually, I don't think he should just think about 1,000 yards either. The bar has to be set higher with this beginning.
And he'll just push his way forward for a few as the clock will run. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has our EA Sports halftime report.
All right, Brandon, thanks. A few teams starting to rise to the top as it's time to take you around the NFL here in Week 6. We'll begin our tour up at First Energy Stadium in Cleveland. And the Patriots have the lead in the final stages before halftime. Mac Jones has thrown a touchdown pass. From there, we head down south to Atlanta. Check on the Falcons at home at Mercedes-Benz Stadium. And they trail in that one as it's the visiting 49ers who are out in front. Deebo Samuel up over 100 yards receiving with 2 touchdown grabs. Lastly, let's get you to MetLife Stadium to see what's happening with the Giants at home in East Rutherford. And they've got the lead in that one over the visiting Baltimore Ravens. A touchdown there for Saquon Barkley. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half? For the answer, we turn it back over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
They begin with a run by Mixon. And a short pickup to about the 27. It'll be second down.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defense in front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
67 yards rushing for him now to this point.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's fourth down.
That's an excellent job right there on third down, like any...
Here comes the Saints punter now, as he'll come on to kick this one away. And he'll take it on this side of midfield. It'll go as a 42, make it a 43-yard punt, 6 on the return. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. So here are the Bengals set to take over. Remember, they're riding that 5-game winning streak, and right now in the driver's seat in this ball game as well. They're passing here, Joe Burrow. That's the tight end Hurst with it. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. 19 yards there on the catch and run. A handoff to Mixon. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Not a ton of room available on that one, but he made use of what space was available and gained decent yardage.
Back to Mixon on 2nd down. That's going to go down as a loss of 5, and it brings up 3rd down.
I think sometimes when you're trying to get after the quarterback, maybe it's better to be lucky than great, because I think on that one, he's just trying to get upfield and rush the passer. Instead, the tackle for the loss landed right in his lap.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. And this one is incomplete.
Well, partner, given where that drive started, that's an excellent job defensively to force them into fourth down.
Here's Joe Mixon as they start on the ground. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30.
So fourth quarter, a nice run there to start this drive. Charles, what do you think the split will be here between run and pass?
Well, partner, I think it'll lean towards the run, but this is also not a time where you just totally do that. You still have to possess the ball, move the sticks, and keep the clock moving as well. So they'll run their offense, but yeah, when they have a chance to run it, they'll do that a little bit more.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Again, it's Mixon. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Can charge.
The offense on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. From the shotgun, Joe Burrow. And he comes back with one complete. And now the rookie's free. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. A great play there. 61 yards. And the Bengals add on to their lead, and it's looking like that win streak is going to extend another week.
He's got them out now to a 3-score lead here in the fourth quarter after that one, CD. And, well, he looked right off the line like he knew that that ball was coming his way, and he secured it for 6 points.
Yeah, and I think when you're leading by a healthy...
They try to eat some clock with Mixon. And he's going to take this across the 50 and into Saints territory.
89 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. Here's a give to Mixon. And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
He's got Hurst, his tight end.
And he'll be taken down here just shy of the 30. Well, normally you might say start running the football. You've got the lead here in the fourth quarter, but the way that they've passed it with such success, I don't know, maybe keep throwing it.
Yeah, I think you brought up something that goes against conventional wisdom, right? In this stage of the game, you would think you would switch to a running attack, but you're exactly right. They've thrown it so well throughout the game, and trusting this quarterback, I think you continue to do so.
Two minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports.
First and 10, and they've got 3 tight ends out there. A jumbo package look.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. On the move to his left. And he's got it. Touchdown, Bengals. A 20-yard touchdown. As his guys are able to push that lead out a bit further.
Another touchdown here in the fourth quarter. And, Charles, I think we can start to consider that this undefeated streak of theirs is going to be safe for another week.
And, partner, you don't make it this far into a season without a loss unless you're getting contributions from both sides of the ball and sometimes even your special teams. And that's been true today. Each side helping guide them to this late lead.
Oh, it looks like he'll throw here. And that is knocked away in the middle of the field and incomplete. The CD, they're up big, but they're still passing it. I mean, this is an offense that's had a lot of success in this game, and it seems like they're just having fun out there.
And it does feel like there's been a shift out there, doesn't it, partner? Listen, if you're up, you can continue to do what you want to do. It's up to the other team to make you change how you do things. They'll continue to throw it around until stopped.
That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there. They'll come to the line needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. On 3rd down, Mixon. Call it a 1-yard gain on the play. And that'll bring up 4th down.
3rd and 2, and they ran the ball for only 1 yard, and everybody's going to scream at the offense. Well, let's give a lot of credit to the defense on that play. Defensive front out leveraged the offensive line. They got more people to the football. Yeah, they won that battle in a big way, and they're forcing a big decision now by the guys on offense.
Denied on 4th down is Joe Mixon, and the Saints will have the football back. So we were looking at each other up here in the booth when they went for that saying, oh, wow, talk about trying to add insult to injury.
Some teams are just...
Now Joe Mixon, and he stopped right at the 25 after a gain of 5.
Brandon, 5 yards on that run. Let's get back to the huddle and make sure if you're a back, you spend time with your offensive line and give them credit. Hard to move those 300-plus pounders at the line of scrimmage, and they did for a significant chunk of yardage.
This will be a short gain of 3 before he's brought down at the 22. So this one in the win column now for the Cincinnati Bengals. And we talk so much about the turnover battle, determining who wins, who loses. This game, no exception. Air-free football, no turnovers at all, and they win it.
So this is one you don't have to convince your team that what you're saying is accurate. And you know what I'm talking about. Head coach always stands up in front of the team and says, guys, if we do this, this, and this, we'll win. And usually they say if we win the turnover battle, we'll win. Well, here's the proof right there. Win the turnover battle, go on to victory. Now the guys believe. You move on to the next lesson where you have to convince them. This one is now planted.
So for Cincinnati, they remain as hot as anyone, 6-0 now through the first month and a half. And they'll head back home next week to take on the Atlanta Falcons. Meanwhile, for the Saints, the loss will drop them to 4-2 on the year. And they'll try to rebound next week as they head to Glendale to take on the Cardinals. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, we thank our entire crew. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This is the NFL on EA Sports.